You know, in marketing, having a great strategy is awesome, but it's really only half the battle. The real test, that's all in the execution. So in this explainer, we're going to build a practical playbook for marketing managers, one that's designed to help you turn that brilliant strategic vision into real, measurable success. Let's get into it. And this right here is the challenge every single marketer faces. You've done the hard work, you've got a solid plan, clear objectives, but the big question is always, how do you actually make that beautiful plan on paper happen in the real world? Well, effective execution is the only answer.
So, to really get to grips with this, we're going to break down an absolute masterclass in execution, the launch of the Greggs vegan sausage roll. By pulling this campaign apart, we can build a clear, repeatable playbook that you can literally take and apply to your own work.
All right, so the first big piece of the puzzle is all about channel selection. Once you know your strategy, your first major decision is where you're going to play. This is all about finding the most effective places to reach and, just as importantly, engage with your target audience. The best way to tackle this is with a simple 3-step process. First, you cast the net wide, brainstorm every possible channel, both online and off. Then, you get critical and evaluate those options against some key criteria. And finally, you narrow it all down to a focused, powerful shortlist. Okay, so this table right here, this is your secret weapon for making smart decisions. As you look at your options, you have to be tough. Ask yourself, can this channel actually reach my people? What's the potential bang for my buck, the ROI? Does it even feel like the right place for my brand? And can I actually measure what happens? Using a framework like this means you're investing your budget based on data, not just guesswork. And Greggs is the perfect example of this in action. They knew their product had the potential to create a real buzz, so they made a very strategic choice. They decided to skip the expensive old-school TV ads and instead pour their energy into platforms that would get people talking all on their own. So, this is what they landed on, their focused shortlist. And notice how each channel had a very specific job to do. Social media was there to light the fire and get the conversation going viral. PR was all about getting that credible stamp of approval from the news. And then in-store marketing was the closer, grabbing customers right where they make the purchase. It's a beautifully integrated mix. Okay, part 2 of our playbook, the message. You've figured out where you're going to talk to people. Now you need to decide what you're going to say. This is all about crafting a message that's consistent, compelling, and actually cuts through all the noise out there. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Great messaging isn't about being clever for the sake of it. It's about driving action. And to do that, you've got to be direct. Tell your customer exactly what you want them to do next. No ambiguity, just a clear, simple instruction. And Greggs' message? It was brilliant. So simple, but so powerful. They knew there was already this huge demand. I mean, a PETA petition had thousands of signatures. So by framing the launch as "you asked and we delivered," they instantly position themselves as a brand that actually listens. That's a huge win. And this is where it gets really clever. They didn't just blast the same message everywhere. For social media and PR, they created this fantastic spoof video treating the sausage roll like it was the latest iPhone. It was funny, it was different, and it was practically engineered to be shared, which perfectly supported their goal of getting that free media coverage. But here's the key. Through all that fun and clever content, the call to action was always crystal clear. It didn't matter if you saw it on Twitter, read it in a newspaper, or saw a poster in a shop window. The goal was always the same: get you to try one. Every single piece of communication pointed to that one simple action. All right, we've got our channels, we've got our message. Now for the third, and honestly maybe the most critical piece of the whole puzzle: getting your internal team aligned. Because let's face it, marketing is a team sport. A campaign's success never rests on the marketing department alone. So, what are we really talking about here? Well, cross-departmental collaboration is exactly what it sounds like. Getting different teams, from finance to operations, all working together towards the same goal. It sounds simple, but getting this right is often the difference between a smooth launch and a complete and utter disaster. As a marketing manager, a huge part of your job is basically being an orchestra conductor. You have to sync up with product development on timelines, make sure the sales and customer service teams are prepped, get the budget signed off by finance, and crucially, make sure operations can actually deliver on the promise you're about to make. Every single one is a vital link in the chain. So let's bring this back to Greggs. For their vegan sausage roll launch, you could argue that their most important meetings were with the supply chain and operations teams. Marketing was about to light a fire under demand, so they had to be 100% certain that the logistics could handle the heat.
And just imagine for a second if they hadn't done this. The viral campaign goes off without a hitch, people are lining up around the block, and the stores sell out by 10 o'clock in the morning on launch day. In an instant, all that incredible PR turns into a customer service nightmare. This is why internal alignment isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely everything.
Okay, let's tie all of this together now into one integrated blueprint. We've looked at channels, messaging, and internal teams as separate things, but the real magic, the real key to success, is seeing them as interconnected parts of a single system. And really, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. A winning campaign is like a finely tuned engine. Your channels, your message, and your teams all have to work in perfect harmony. If one of those parts is off, the whole thing can fall apart. But when they align, like they did for Greg's, the results can be truly extraordinary.
So, I want to leave you with a question. As you plan your next campaign, I want you to look at it through this framework. Look at your channels, your message, and your internal collaboration, and ask yourself, honestly, what is the weakest link in my execution chain? And what am I going to do starting today to make it stronger?